This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Fascinating Music Facts of the 1960s by A.S. James. Preface. The 1960s was a time when music felt bigger than ever, changing the way people saw the world and themselves. It wasn't just something to dance to or sing along with, it was a movement, a voice, and a way to challenge the status quo. Artists began experimenting with new sounds, blending different styles. From rock to country, folk to pop, and jazz to Motown, the music of the 1960s captured the energy of a generation that wanted to break free from old traditions and create something new. It was raw, bold, and full of emotion, reflecting the struggles, dreams, and changes of the time. This was the decade when the Beatles took the world by storm. Bob Dylan made us think with his lyrics, and artists like Aretha Franklin and Sam Cooke used their voices to demand equality and justice. Psychedelic music brought trippy sounds that felt like a gateway to another world, while Motown filled the airwaves with unforgettable hits that made you want to dance. But it wasn't just about the music itself, it was about what it stood for. These songs became the soundtrack to the civil rights movement, anti-war protests, and the growing call for peace and love. By the end of the decade, music wasn't just entertainment, it was a voice for a generation looking to change the world. A few thoughts from the author. There was so much happening in music during the 1960s that it would be impossible to fit it all into one book. Instead, I focused on sharing interesting facts about the genres and artists that made the biggest impact on music during that decade. Writing this book was a fun experience, and I learned a lot along the way. While researching, I listened to many of the songs mentioned to get a real sense of the music and the era. As you read, I encourage you to do the same. Find the songs on your favorite music app and listen as you go. It will give you a deeper feel for what made this music so special. I hope you enjoy reading this book as much as I enjoyed putting it together. A.S. James.
Folk music. In the 1960s, folk music became a big part of the fight for social change. It took old-school melodies and mixed them with new ideas about peace, civil rights, and protests. Inspired by earlier artists like Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger, musicians like Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, and Peter, Paul, and Mary brought folk music to a bigger audience. They used simple acoustic instruments and powerful lyrics to tell stories, drawing from American roots and global folk traditions. Folk music in the 60s wasn't just about great songs. It also inspired activism and captured the spirit of a time full of big changes. Izzy Young's Folklore Center, a small shop in the heart of Greenwich Village, was more than just a music store. It was a cultural epicenter for the folk revival. The shop sold records, books, and instruments, but also hosted informal gatherings and performances by folk legends like Joan Baez, Pete Seeger, and Bob Dylan. Young's support and enthusiasm for folk music made the Folklore Center a crucial networking spot for emerging artists. Bob Dylan recorded his first album in an incredibly short time frame, just 2 afternoons in November 1961. During these sessions he recorded 17 tracks, each in a single take and without any accompaniment. This showed Dylan's raw talent and confidence as a performer because he felt no need for multiple takes or studio enhancements. Joan Baez played a big part in launching Bob Dylan's career by inviting him to perform with her during her concerts in the early 1960s. Their collaboration helped Dylan gain exposure and build his fan base. Baez's established reputation as a folk singer lent credibility to the young Dylan's emerging style. The folk revival of the early 1960s led to a big increase in acoustic guitar sales in the United States. with manufacturers reporting a 300%.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.